We're going to move to HB1 now, and to lay out some ground rules. Though this bill has been around for a while, we have not heard this particular bill, so we're going to hear it, okay? And we're going to hear from the patron first, then questions of the patron. Then we will hear from proponents that will limit themselves to 8 minutes, and we will hear from opponents that will limit themselves to 8 minutes. And then we will take the bill in, and of course the patron will have the opportunity to make final comments as always. Give your attention to Delegate Marshall, HB1. All right, thank you. Give your attention to Delegate Marshall.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for the opportunity to talk today. I'm going to highlight some of this. Number one, this does not outlaw abortion, birth control, or in vitro. And as a matter of fact, the Personhood USA organization issued a press release asking me to amend it to do that with respect to abortion, and I just have not done that. Now, the law in Missouri is identical to mine except for Provision 7. 2 years ago, when we had extensive hearings on this in the House, the question arose, would this bill affect in vitro? Well, we didn't see it affecting in vitro in Missouri, and that was the case, but some concern was still expressed, so we added, this is the only difference between my bill and the bill in Missouri, which survived a Supreme Court.
I'm pleased to be here today to tell you the truth about this bill. It has been the subject of wild allegations in the media, and many untruths have been spoken blatantly against it. And I'm eager to clear those up, and I'd also be happy to answer any questions or concerns you have about the bill. House Bill 1 is a rule of construction, recognizing that life begins at conception. Now, opponents of the bill have engaged in fear-mongering, claiming that it would outlaw contraception and IVF. I am prepared today to go into painstaking detail, if you like, to prove that those allegations are not true. This is not a criminal statute. Virginia's existing abortion statutes specifically legalize abortion in accordance with Roe v. Wade, and thus necessarily legalize all forms of contraception.
Terry Beatley with No Excuse Ministry Political Action Committee in Fredericksburg. I've just put out a plea to return to sanity, that we can talk about the unborn as if they're just blobs of tissue, as if they're not important. And my personal plea is for us to recognize as Democrats and Republicans that the value of life does not depend on someone's size, location, environment in which he or she lives, or the degree of dependency.
Good morning, Mark Early with the Family Foundation and Americans United for Life. We support the bill. It's been upheld by the Supreme Court, and we do second all that's already been said today. Thank you.
Mr. Identify yourself.
Craig Davis, Virginia Coalition for Life. I want to just, I think, at least encourage you to pass this bill or to vote in positive for this bill, disregarding the consideration for the personality of the author of this bill in regards to the fact that the man is a sincere and dedicated individual who has presented this bill firmly because of the fact that he knows exactly what he's intending to do.
I love
his motivations are extremely pure. And I would ask you to consider the irony of the season that we're presented with right now, the fact that we are considering the innocents and a slaughter of the innocents if we don't pass this bill. That is presented before us in this Easter season. And as faithful Christians, we have to consider that as being a prime consideration.
My name is Jane Castanias, and I'm a Virginia resident on the Board of Directors for Resolve, the National Infertility Association. And I'm here on behalf of the 1 in 8 Virginians who have been diagnosed with the disease of infertility. Let me be clear. House Bill 1 will make infertility treatments unlawful in Virginia.
My name is Catherine Grenier. I'm the director of the Patricia M. Arnold Women's Rights Project at the ACLU of Virginia, and we oppose this bill.
Mr. Chairman, Dr. Scott Lucidi, the reproductive endocrinology and infertility physician here in Richmond. I've made it my life's work trying to help couples build their family. This bill is anti-family.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, I'm Stephanie Rodriguez with the Alliance for Progressive Values, and we oppose this bill.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Dr. Christopher Williams. I'm the Medical Director of the Reproductive Endocrinology and Infertility in Charlottesville. I'm also a fellow of the American College of OBGYNs with 50,000 members, and in their own words, please reject this bill.
My name is Jessica Hawkins with Planned Parenthood Advocates of Virginia, and we oppose this bill.
My name is Molly Vick. I'm a person, a woman, and a mother, and I ask that you oppose this bill.
My name is Tarina Keene. I represent Near Route Pro-Choice Virginia. We oppose this bill, and I think after what we've seen here recently, with the way Virginians are responding to a lot of these reproductive health care bills, that we would be wise in Virginia to reject this bill.
I first would like David Johnson, the Attorney General's office, to direct himself to questions about in vitro.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, I'm David Johnson, Deputy Attorney General for Health, Education, and Social Services. Section 7 references lawful assisted conception. Therefore, it triggers the definition of assisted conception in the Code of Virginia, Section 2156. There, assisted conception is defined, quote, a pregnancy resulting from any intervening medical technology. Everything we've heard thus far this morning is intervening medical technology. Therefore, it is the opinion of the Attorney General that the interest, if any, arising in HB1 would not arise in an assisted conception until there's an actual pregnancy. HB1 would not operate under the definition in 20-156 to outlaw any of the medical technology we've heard this morning.
Thank you. My question, I will pause the time. You've got a minute and 32 seconds left. Question. I just have one question. So the Attorney General supports this bill, HB1?
Yes, sir.
For going.
Just a quick question. Thank you. Does this bill affect when one becomes an independent?
In what way?
A lot of different ways.
Well,
Could you use the hub lanes?
Go through the chair.
I would say this, particularly in
the question was from Senator Norton.
I think there's a wide variety of situations we'd have to respond to, but let's look at census data, for instance. Virginia uses census data in order to count persons for official purposes. Unborn children are not considered by the federal government to be persons. Therefore, this law would not affect how we handle census data.
I just want to add again, this bill does not affect contraception. This bill does not affect in vitro fertilization. I've just distributed 3 pages listing the specific legal reasons, and there are many, why this bill cannot affect either of those practices.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, this is from Resolve's own website, where they urge adoption of a law in Missouri mandating in vitro coverage. This is the Code of Federal Regulations, which defines a child under Title 21, which we're funding this year, under the age of 19, including the period from conception till birth. Mr. Chairman, I would suggest that this is a question of values right here. This is the Western California medicine. The process of eroding the old ethic and substituting the new has already begun. It may be seen clearly in the changing attitudes towards human abortion. The result has been a curious avoidance of the scientific fact, which everybody really knows, that
Folks will suspend. That is, if that happens again, I will ask that anyone that participates is removed. Delegate Senator Newman. Senator Newman moves, and Senator Smith seconds the motion that the bill be reported as amended. I know there'll be some folks who want to speak to this. So if you seek recognition, anyone care to speak to the bill?
Mr. Chairman, I would now like to speak to the motion.
Please, Senator Locke. There'll be no more testimony.
Mr. Chairman, just because someone says it so and continues to say it over and over again doesn't make it true. This bill is insidious, and it is beginning a process that I do not wish to see this Commonwealth of Virginia continue to take. We are a laughingstock of the world because of things like this, where the individual rights of a woman are being challenged continuously. And I personally resent when I am told that because I am pro-choice, I am pro-abortion. which is a misnomer. For those of us who feel that women are smart enough to make decisions that are right for themselves and are right with them, their family, their doctor, and their God.
I'd just like to speak to the bill real briefly. I didn't know whether I would say anything to this bill or not, but this has had so much media attention, so much misinformation and information put out. It's been labeled as the personhood bill. And I wanted to share a little story about how I feel about this situation, because it has a whole lot of meaning to me. And in the fall of 2005, John Ray Gullion walked into a home in 7 Mile Fort where I grew up, and there was a situation that took place where John took the life of Joseph Evans, Vanessa Evans, and Jalen Evans, who was 4 years old. Vanessa took 5 rounds to the chest and to the stomach. Vanessa was pregnant, and that day my family lost not 3 members but 4. And life does, personhood does have a name, and it's Joseph Bradley Evans.
Speaking of this as well, I didn't think of you speaking to this either, but a motion, we've heard really good testimony. I want to say to the people who wrote this, to try to read it, and thank you for the copies as quickly as we could up here. But I think we have to understand in the law, where does life begin? And what is so hard about challenging ourselves with that question? We're going to have different views, but I think the state does have the right to make a determination when life begins and when life ends. And so I think if you want to make this at its most...
All right, I will ask that police remove anyone that has spoken out just then or will do so in the future, immediately. Senator,
I'll try to end it because I know we'd like to move forward, but I just think that there's a lot of good discussion on both sides. I think as a state we have to make this determination. It's clear to me.
Anyone else care to speak to the matter? The clerk will call the roll.
Senator Martin.
Aye.
Senator Sassoff?
No.
Senator Lucas? No. Senator Howell?
No.
Senator Newman? Senator Blevins? Senator Lott? No. Senator Barker? No. Senator Northam? No. Senator Miller?
No.
Senator Smith?
Aye.
Senator McWhorter?
Aye.
Senator Black?
Aye.
Senator Carrico?
Aye.
Senator Garrett?
Aye.
Eight, 7.
The bill is amended, has been reported 8-7.
Thank you very much.